Ramayana.
The Ramayana is one of the great Hindu epics. It is ascribed to the Hindu sage Valmiki and forms an important part of the Hindu literature, considered to be itihāasa. The Ramayana is one of the two great epics of Hinduism, the other being the Mahabharata. It depicts the duties of relationships, portraying ideal characters like the ideal father, the ideal servant, the ideal brother, the ideal wife, and the ideal king. The name Ramayana is a tatpurusha compound of Rama and ayana, translating to Rama's journey. The Ramayana consists of 24,000 verses in 7 books and 500 cantos, and tells the story of Rama, whose wife Sita is abducted by Ravana, the king of Lanka. Thematically, the Ramayana explores human values and the concept of dharma. Verses in the Ramayana are written in a 32-syllable meter called an ascribed. The Ramayana was an important influence on later Sanskrit poetry and Hindu life and culture. Like the Mahabharata, the Ramayana is not just a story, it presents the teachings of ancient Hindu sages, Vedas, in narrative allegory, interspersing philosophical and devotional elements. The characters Rama, Sita, Lakshman, Bharata, Hanuman, and Ravana are all fundamental to the cultural consciousness of India, Nepal, and many Southeast Asian countries such as Thailand and Indonesia. There are other versions of the Ramayana, notably the Tamil Ramayana, the Telugu Sri Ranganatha Ramayanam, Buddhist, Dasaratha Jataka No. 461, and Jain adaptations, and also Cambodian, Indonesian, Filipino, Thai, Lao, Burmese, and Malaysian versions of the tale.
Textual history and structure.
Traditionally, the Ramayana is attributed to Valmiki. The Hindu tradition is unanimous in its agreement that the poem is the work of a single poet. The sage Valmiki, a contemporary of Rama and a peripheral actor in the drama. The story's original version in Sanskrit is known as Valmiki Ramayana, dating to approximately the 5th to 4th century BCE. While it is often viewed as a primarily devotional text, the Vaishnava elements appear to be later accretions, possibly dating to the 2nd century BCE or later. The main body of the narrative lacks statements of Rama's divinity, and identifications of Rama with Vishnu are rare and subdued even in the later parts of the text. According to Hindu tradition, and according to the Ramayana itself, the Ramayana belongs to the genre of itihāasa, like the Mahabharata. The definition of itihāasa has varied over time, with one definition being that itihāasa is a narrative of past events, puravata, which includes teachings on the goals of human life. According to Hindu tradition, the Ramayana takes place during a period of time known as Treta Yuga. In its extant form, Valmiki's Ramayana is an epic poem of some 50,000 lines. The text survives in several thousand partial and complete manuscripts, the oldest of which is a palm leaf manuscript found in Nepal and dated to the 11th century CE. The text has several regional renderings, recensions, and sub-recensions. Textual scholar Robert P. Goldman differentiates two major regional recensions, the northern, N, and the southern, S. Scholar Ramesh Chandra Dutt writes that the Ramayana, like the Mahabharata, is a growth of centuries, but the main story is more distinctly the creation of one mind. There has been discussion as to whether the first and the last chapters of Valmiki's Ramayana were composed by the original author. Some still believe they are integral parts of the book, in spite of some style differences and narrative contradictions between these two chapters and the rest of the book. Famous retellings include Gona Buddha Reddy's Ramayanam in Telugu, Kamban's Ramayana in Tamil, c. 11th–12th century, Madhava Kandali's Saptakanda Ramayana in Assamese, c. 14th century, Kritibad's Ojha's Kritivasi Ramayan, also known as Sri Rama Pankali, in Bengali, c. 15th century, Santnath's Parvath Ramayan, c. 16th century, in Marathi, which is spoken in Maharashtra, Balaram Das Dandi Ramayana, also known as the Jagamohan Ramayana, c. 16th century, in Oriya, Tulsidas Ramcharitmanas, c. 16th century, in Urdu, which is an Eastern form of Hindi, and Thunchatthuatsuthakansadyadma Ramayana in Malayalam.
Period.
Some cultural evidence, the presence of sati in the Mahabharata but not in the main body of the Ramayana, suggests that the Ramayana predates the Mahabharata. However, the general cultural background of the Ramayana is one of the post-urbanization period of the eastern part of North India and Nepal, while the Mahabharata reflects the Kuru areas west of this, from the Rig-Vedic to the late Vedic period. By tradition, the text belongs to the Treta Yuga, second of the four eons, Yuga, of Hindu chronology. Rama is said to have been born in the Treta Yuga to King Dasaratha in the Ikshvaku Vamsa clan. Maharishi Valmiki, the writer of Ramayana and a contemporary of Lord Rama, has described in 3 shlokas the positions of planets at the time of birth of Lord Rama. The names of the characters, Rama, Sita, Dasaratha, Janaka, Vashista, Vishwamitra, are all known in late Vedic literature, older than the Valmiki Ramayana. However, nowhere in the surviving Vedic poetry is there a story similar to the Ramayana of Valmiki. According to the modern academic view, Vishnu, who, according to Balakanda, was incarnated as Rama, first came into prominence with the epics themselves and further during the Puranic period of the later 1st millennium CE. Also, in the epic Mahabharata, there is a version of Ramayana known as Ramapakyana. This version is depicted as a narration to Yudhishthira. There is general consensus that books 2 to 6 form the oldest portion of the epic, while the first and last books, Balakanda and Uttarakanda, respectively, are later additions. The author or authors of Balakanda and Uttarakanda appear to be familiar with the eastern Gangetic Basin region of northern India and with the Kosala and Magadha region during the period of the 16 Janapadas, based on the fact that the geographical and geopolitical data is in keeping with what is known about the region. However, when the story moves to the Aranyakanda and beyond, it seems to turn abruptly into fantasy, with its demon-slaying hero and fantastic creatures. The geography of Central and South India is described in an increasingly vague manner. The knowledge of the location of the island of Lanka also lacks detail. Basing his assumption on these features, the archaeologist Hasmukh Trilal Sankalia has proposed a date of the 4th century BC for the composition of the text. However, the historian and Indologist Arthur Llewellyn Basham is of the opinion that Rama may have been a minor chief who lived in the 8th or the 7th century BC.
The 7 Cantos books.
The epic is traditionally divided into several major cantos, books, which deal chronologically with the major events in the life of Rama. The division into 7 cantos is as follows.
Characters.
Rama is one of the protagonists of the tale. Portrayed as the 7th avatar of the god Vishnu, he is the eldest and favorite son of Dasharatha, the king of Ayodhya, current-day Ayodhya, India, and his queen, Kausalya. He is portrayed as the epitome of virtue. Dasharatha is forced by Kayake, one of his wives, to command Rama to relinquish his right to the throne for 14 years and go into exile. Sita is another of the tale's protagonists. She is King Janaka's daughter, and Rama's beloved wife. Rama went to Mithila, current-day Janakpur, Nepal, and got a chance to marry her by lifting a heavy bow in a competition organized by King Janaka. The competition was to find the most suitable husband for Sita, and many princes from different states competed to win her. Sita is the avatar of goddess Lakshmi, the consort of Vishnu. Sita is portrayed as the epitome of female purity and virtue. She follows her husband into exile and is abducted by Ravana. She is imprisoned on the island of Lanka, until Rama rescues her by defeating the demon king Ravana. Later, she gives birth to Lava and Kusha, the heirs of Rama. Hanuman is a Vinara belonging to the kingdom of Kishkindhar. In some versions, other than Valmiki's, he is portrayed as the 11th avatar of Shiva. He is also called Rudra, and an ideal Bhakta of Rama. He is born as the son of Kazari, a Vinara king, and the goddess Anjana. He plays an important part in locating Sita and in the ensuing battle. He is believed to live until our modern world. Lakshmana, the younger brother of Rama, who chose to go into exile with him. He is the son of King Dasaratha and Queen Sumitra, and twin of Kshatrugna. Lakshmana is portrayed as an avatar of the Shesha, the Naga associated with the god Vishnu. He spends his time protecting Sita and Rama, during which he fought the demoness Surpanakha. He is forced to leave Sita, who was deceived by the demon Marika into believing that Rama was in trouble. Sita is abducted by Ravana upon him leaving her. He was married to Sita's younger sister Urmila. Ravana, a Rakshasa, is the king of Lanka. After performing severe penance for 10,000 years, he received a boon from the creator god Brahma. He could henceforth not be killed by gods, demons, or spirits. He is portrayed as a powerful demon king who disturbs the penances of rishis. Vishnu incarnates as the human Rama to defeat him, thus circumventing the boon given by Brahma. Jatayu, the son of Aruna and nephew of Garuda. A demigod who has the form of an vulture that tries to rescue Sita from Ravana. Jatayu fought valiantly with Ravana, but as Jatayu was very old, Ravana soon got the better of him. As Rama and Lakshmana chanced upon the stricken and dying Jatayu in their search for Sita, he informs them of the direction in which Ravana had gone. Dasaratha is the king of Ayodhya and the father of Rama. He has 3 queens, Kausalya, Kayake and Sumitra, and 3 other sons, Bharata, Lakshmana and Kshatrugna. Kayake, Dasharatha's favorite queen, forces him to make his son Bharata crown prince and send Rama into exile. Dasharatha dies heartbroken after Rama goes into exile. Bharata is the son of Dasharatha and Queen Kayake. When he learns that his mother Kayake had forced Rama into exile and caused Dasharatha to die broken-hearted, he storms out of the palace and goes in search of Rama in the forest. When Rama refuses to return from his exile to assume the throne, Bharata obtains Rama's sandals, and places them on the throne as a gesture that Rama is the true king. Bharata then rules Ayodhya as the regent of Rama for the next 14 years. He was married to Mandavi. Kshatrugna is the son of Dasharatha and his third wife Queen Sumitra. He is the youngest brother of Rama and also the twin brother of Lakshmana. He was married to Shrutakirti, Suyadriva, a Vanara king who helped Rama regain Sita from Ravana. He had an agreement with Rama through which Vali, Suyadriva's brother and king of Kishkindhar, would be killed by Rama in exchange for Suyadriva's help in finding Sita. Suyadriva ultimately ascends the throne of Kishkindhar after the slaying of Vali, and fulfills his promise by putting the Vanara forces at Rama's disposal. Indrajit, a son of Ravana who twice defeated Lakshmana in battle, before succumbing to him the 3rd time. An adept of the magical arts, he coupled his supreme fighting skills with various stratagems to inflict heavy losses on the Vanara army before his death. Kumbhakarna, a brother of Ravana, famous for his eating and sleeping. He would sleep for months at a time and would be extremely ravenous upon waking up, consuming anything set before him. His monstrous size and loyalty made him an important part of Ravana's army. During the war he decimated the Vanara army before Rama cut off his limbs and head. Surpanakha, Ravana's demoness sister who fell in love with Rama and had the magical power to take any form she wanted. Vibhishana, a younger brother of Ravana. He was against the kidnapping of Sita, and joined the forces of Rama when Ravana refused to return her. His intricate knowledge of Lanka was vital in the war, and he was crowned king after the fall of Ravana.
Synopsis. Balkinda.
Dasharatha was the king of Ayodhya. He had 3 queens, Kausalya, Kayake and Sumitra. He was childless for a long time and, anxious to produce an heir, he performs a fire sacrifice known as Putra Kameshti Yagya. As a consequence, Rama is first born to Kausalya, Bharata is born to Kayake, and Lakshmana and Kshatrugna are born to Sumitra. These sons are endowed, to various degrees, with the essence of the god Vishnu. Vishnu had opted to be born into mortality to combat the demon Ravana, who was oppressing the gods, and who could only be destroyed by a mortal. The boys are reared as the princes of the realm, receiving instructions from the scriptures and in warfare. When Rama is 16 years old, The sage Vishwamitra comes to the court of Dasharatha in search of help against demons who were disturbing sacrificial rites. He chooses Rama, who is followed by Lakshmana, his constant companion throughout the story. Rama and Lakshmana receive instructions and supernatural weapons from Vishwamitra, and proceed to destroy the demons. Janaka was the king of Mithila. One day, a female child was found in the field by the king in the deep furrow dug by his plough. Overwhelmed with joy, the king regarded the child as a miraculous gift of God. The child was named Sita, the Sanskrit word for furrow. Sita grew up to be a girl of unparalleled beauty and charm. When Sita was of marriageable age, the king decided to have a swayamvara, which included a contest. The king was in possession of an immensely heavy bow, presented to him by the god Shiva. Whoever could wield the bow could marry Sita. The sage Vishwamitra attends the swayamvara with Rama and Lakshmana. Only Rama is able to wield the bow and, when he draws the string, it breaks. Marriages are arranged between the sons of Dasharatha and daughters of Janaka. Rama gets married to Sita, Lakshmana to Urmila, Bharata to Mandavi and Shatrughna to Shrutakirti. The weddings are celebrated with great festivity at Mithila and the marriage party returns to Ayodhya.
Ayana.
After Rama and Sita have been married for 12 years, an elderly Dasharatha expresses his desire to crown Rama, to which the Kosala assembly and his subjects express their support. On the eve of the great event, Kayake, her jealousy aroused by Manthara, a wicked maidservant, claims 2 boons that Dasharatha had long ago granted her. Kayake demands Rama to be exiled into wilderness for 14 years, while the succession passes to her son Bharata. The heartbroken king, constrained by his rigid devotion to his given word, accedes to Kayake's demands. Rama accepts his father's reluctant decree with absolute submission and calm self-control which characterizes him throughout the story. He is joined by Sita and Lakshmana. When he asks Sita not to follow him, she says, "The forest where you dwell is Ayodhya for me and Ayodhya without you is a veritable hell for me." After Rama's departure, King Dasharatha, unable to bear the grief, passes away. Meanwhile, Bharata, who was on a visit to his maternal uncle, learns about the events in Ayodhya. Bharata refuses to profit from his mother's wicked scheming and visits Rama in the forest. He requests Rama to return and rule. But Rama, determined to carry out his father's orders to the letter, refuses to return before the period of exile. However, Bharata carries Rama's sandals, and keeps them on the throne, while he rules as Rama's regent.
Aranya.
Rama, Sita and Lakshmana journeyed southward along the banks of river Godavari, where they built cottages and lived off the land. At the Pankavati forest they are visited by a Rakshasa woman, Surpanakha, the sister of Ravana. She attempts to seduce the brothers and, failing in this, attempts to kill Sita. Lakshmana stops her by cutting off her nose and ears. Hearing of this, her demon brother, Kara, organizes an attack against the princes. Rama annihilates Kara and his demons. When news of these events reaches Ravana, he resolves to destroy Rama by capturing Sita with the aid of the Rakshasa Marika. Marika, assuming the form of a golden deer, captivates Sita's attention. Entranced by the beauty of the deer, Sita pleads with Rama to capture it. Lord Rama, aware that this is the play of the demons, is unable to dissuade Sita from her desire and chases the deer into the forest, leaving Sita under Lakshmana's guard. After some time Sita hears Rama calling out to her. Afraid for his life she insists that Lakshmana rush to his aid. Lakshmana tries to assure her that Rama is invincible, and that it is best if he continues to follow Rama's orders to protect her. On the verge of hysterics Sita insists that it is not she but Rama who needs Lakshmana's help. He obeys her wish but stipulates that she is not to leave the cottage or entertain any strangers. He draws a chalk outline, the Lakshmana Rekha, around the cottage and casts a spell on it that prevents anyone from entering the boundary but allows people to exit. Finally, with the coast clear, Ravana appears in the guise of an ascetic requesting Sita's hospitality. Unaware of the devious plan of her guest, Sita is tricked into leaving the wreck and then forcibly carried away by the evil Ravana. Jadayu, a vulture, tries to rescue Sita, but is mortally wounded. At Lanka, Sita is kept under the heavy guard of Rakshasis. Ravana demands Sita marry him, but Sita, eternally devoted to Rama, refuses. Rama and Lakshmana learn about Sita's abduction from Jadayu, and immediately set out to save her. During their search, they meet the demon Kabandar and the ascetic Shibari, who direct them towards Syed River and Hanuman.
Kishkinda.
The Kishkindar Kanda is set in the monkey citadel Kishkindar. Rama and Lakshmana meet Hanuman, the greatest of monkey heroes and an adherent of Syed River, the banished pretender to the throne of Kishkindar. Rama befriends Syed River and helps him by killing his elder brother Vali, thus regaining the kingdom of Kishkindar, in exchange for helping Rama to recover Sita. However, Syed River soon forgets his promise and spends his time in debauchery. The clever monkey queen Tara, second wife of Syed River, initially wife of Vali, calmly intervenes to prevent an enraged Lakshmana from destroying the monkey citadel. She then eloquently convinces Syed River to honor his pledge. Syed River then sends search parties to the four corners of the earth, only to return without success from north, east and west. The southern search party under the leadership of Angad and Hanuman learns from a vulture named Sampati that Sita was taken to Lanka.
Sundarakinda.
The Sundarakanda forms the heart of Valmiki's Ramayana and consists of a detailed, vivid account of Hanuman's adventures. After learning about Sita, Hanuman assumes a gargantuan form and makes a colossal leap across the ocean to Lanka. Here, Hanuman explores the demon's city and spies on Ravana. He locates Sita in Ashoka Grove, who is wooed and threatened by Ravana and his Rakshasis to marry Ravana. He reassures her, giving Rama's signet ring as a sign of good faith. He offers to carry Sita back to Rama, however she refuses, reluctant to allow herself to be touched by a male other than her husband. She says that Rama himself must come and avenge the insult of her abduction. Hanuman then wreaks havoc in Lanka by destroying trees and buildings, and killing Ravana's warriors. He allows himself to be captured and produced before Ravana. He gives a bold lecture to Ravana to release Sita. He is condemned and his tail is set on fire, but he escapes his bonds and, leaping from roof to roof, sets fire to Ravana's citadel and makes the giant leap back from the island. The joyous search party returns to Kishkindar with the news.
Lanka.
Also known as Uttarakhand, this book describes the battle between the army of Rama, constructed with the help of Swajriv and Ravana. Having received Hanuman's report on Sita, Rama and Lakshmana proceed with their allies towards the shore of the southern sea. There they are joined by Ravana's renegade brother Vibhishana. The monkeys named Nal and Neel construct a floating bridge, known as Rama Setu, across the ocean, and the princes and their army cross over to Lanka. A lengthy battle ensues and Rama kills Ravana. Rama then installs Vibhishana on the throne of Lanka. The monkeys, Vanas, who had fought for Lord Rama had entered the throne room. The palace guards struck them to move them out. This angered Lord Rama. He said, "These are my people. Let them be." Rama orders Sita to be brought to him in open court. To the great dismay of all present, he treats her coldly. Valmiki mentions that Rama is afraid of how vulgar people talk and this factors in his behavior. Still, what he says is very shocking. Vzh. That he only fought the battle in the cause of righteousness. He will not take Sita back because she has been the property of another man. She can marry some other prince including one of his brothers or the new king of Lanka. Or else she can go where she likes. Grief-stricken Sita gives him a fitting reply. She reveals that her true birth is divine and causing a pyre to be built up, herself and is the fire as proof of her virtue. Rama's silence and inaction during this horrendous event shocks and paralyses everybody. However, Sita's self-imposed trial by fire triggers the appearance of the heavenly gods who explain the divine nature of Lord Rama and Lord Sita and their true relationship. Sita is restored to Rama and he also meets his father who has attained heavenly bliss. Rama asks for and is granted the restoration to life of all his humble followers slain in battle. It is noteworthy, in Valmiki's account, that though mistreatment of the monkey people, who symbolize the ordinary devotees of the Lord, first causes him to flare up with anger and orders Sita to be brought before him in open court, thus affording the devotee a darshan, theophany, of Divine Mother but, at the same time, Lord Rama is said to feel fear because of how vulgar people speak and the sort of prejudices they harbor, during his speech to Sita. This shows once again that the common people, ordinary devotees with all their imperfections, remain closest to his heart. One final point, but for Ram's cold and unfeeling behavior to Sita, she would not have chosen to enter the fire. However, it was that act which triggered the appearance of the gods. Once again, Rama shows his overriding concern for his humble devotees by asking that the lives of his slain followers be restored. Departing from Valmiki, in popular culture, this episode is dealt with differently. There, on meeting Sita, Rama asks her to undergo an Agni Pariksha, test of fire, to prove her purity, as he wanted to get rid of the rumors surrounding Sita's purity. When Sita plunges into the sacrificial fire, Agni the Lord of Fire raises Sita, unharmed, to the throne, attesting to her purity. The episode of Agni Pariksha varies in the versions of Ramayana by Valmiki and Tulsidas. The above version is from the Valmiki Ramayana. In Tulsidas' Ramacharitnamana, Sita was under the protection of Agni, so it was necessary to bring her out before reuniting with Rama. At the expiration of his term of exile, Rama returns to Ayodhya with Sita and Lakshmana, where the coronation is performed. This is the beginning of Ramayana, which implies an ideal state with good morals.
Uttarakhanda.
The Uttarakhanda is regarded to be a later addition to the original story by Valmiki and concerns the final years of Rama, Sita, and Rama's brothers. After being crowned king, many years passed pleasantly with Sita. However, despite the Agni Pariksha, fire ordeal, of Sita, rumors about her purity are spreading among the populace of Ayodhya. Rama yields to public opinion and reluctantly banishes Sita to the forest, where the sage Valmiki provides shelter in his ashrama, hermitage. Here she gives birth to twin boys, Lava and Kusha, who become pupils of Valmiki and are brought up in ignorance of their identity. Valmiki composes the Ramayana and teaches Lava and Kusha to sing it. Later, Rama holds a ceremony during Ashwamedha Ayana, which the sage Valmiki, with Lava and Kusha, attends. Lava and Kusha sing the Ramayana in the presence of Rama and his vast audience. When Lava and Kusha recite about Sita's exile, Rama becomes grief-stricken, and Valmiki produces Sita. Sita calls upon the earth, her mother, to receive her, and as the ground opens, she vanishes into it. Rama then learns that Lava and Kusha are his children. Later a messenger from the gods appears and informs Rama that the mission of his incarnation was over. Rama returns to his celestial abode.
Influence on culture and art.
One of the most important literary works of ancient India, the Ramayana has had a profound impact on art and culture in the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia. The story ushered in the tradition of the next 1,000 years of massive-scale works in the rich diction of regal courts and Hindu temples. It has also inspired much secondary literature in various languages, notably the Kamba Ramayanam by the Tamil poet Kambar of the 12th century, the Telugu language Molla Ramayanam by poet S. Molla and Ranganatha Ramayanam by poet Gona Buddha Reddy, 14th century Kannada poet Narahari's Tarave Ramayana, and 15th century Bengali poet Kratibas Ojha's Krittivasi Ramayan, as well as the 16th century Urdu version, Ramacharitnamanas, written by Tulsidas. The Ramayana became popular in Southeast Asia during the 8th century and was represented in literature, temple architecture, dance and theatre. Today, dramatic enactments of the story of Ramayana, known as Ramlila, take place all across India and in many places across the globe within the Indian diaspora. The Ramayana has also been depicted in many paintings, most notably by the Malaysian artist Syed Tajuddin in 1972. The epic tale was picturized on canvas in epic proportions measuring 72 x 453 centimeters and 9 panels. The painting depicts three prolific parts of the epic, namely the abduction of Sita, Hanuman visits Sita and Hanuman burns Lanka. The painting is currently in the permanent collection of the Malaysian National Visual Arts Gallery.
Variant versions.
As in many oral epics, multiple versions of the Ramayana survive. In particular, the Ramayana related in North India differs in important respects from that preserved in South India and the rest of Southeast Asia. There is an extensive tradition of oral storytelling based on the Ramayana in Indonesia, Cambodia, Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, Laos, Vietnam, and Maldives. Father Kamal Buke, author of Ramakatha, has identified over 300 variants of Ramayana.
India.
The 7th century CE Bhatti's poem Bhattakavaya of Bhatti is a Sanskrit retelling of the epic that simultaneously illustrates the grammatical examples for Panini's Ashtadyāyi as well as the major figures of speech and the Prakrit language. There are diverse regional versions of the Ramayana written by various authors in India. Some of them differ significantly from each other. During the 12th century Ad. Kamban wrote Ramalvitram, known popularly as Kamba Ramayanam in Tamil, a Telugu version Ranganatha Ramayanam by Gona Buddha Reddy in the 14th century. The earliest translation to a regional Indo-Aryan language is the early 14th century Saptakanda Ramayana in Assamese by Madhava Kandali. Valmiki's Ramayana inspired the Sri Ramatrit Manas by Tulasidas in 1576, an epic Audi, a dialect of Hindi, version with a slant more grounded in a different realm of Hindu literature, that of Bhakti. It is an acknowledged masterpiece of India, popularly known as Tulsi Karta Ramayana. Gujarati poet Ramanand wrote a version of Ramayana in the 17th century. Other versions include Kritivasi Ramayan, a Bengali version by Kritivas in the 14th century, in Oriya by Bala Ramadas in the 16th century, in Marathi by Sridhara in the 18th century, in Maithili by Chandajar in 19th century, a Tarave Ramayana in Kannada by the 16th century poet Narahari and in the 20th century Rashtrakavi Kuvempu's Sri Ramayana Darshanam and Adhyadma Ramayanam Kailapattu, a Malayalam version by Tonkattu Ezhuttakan in the 16th century. There is a subplot to Ramayana, prevalent in some parts of India, relating the adventures of Ravana and Ravana, the evil brother of Ravana, which enhances the role of Hanuman in the story. Hanuman rescues Rama and Lakshmana after they are kidnapped by the Ravana at the behest of Ravana and held prisoner in a subterranean cave, to be sacrificed to the goddess Kali. Mappilapattu, a genre of song popular among the Muslims belonging to Kerala and Lakshadweep, has incorporated some episodes from the Ramayana into its songs. These songs, known as Mappila Ramayana, have been handed down from one generation to the next orally. In Mappila Ramayana, the story of the Ramayana has been changed into that of a sultan, and there are no major changes in the names of characters except for that of Rama, which is Laman in many places. The language and the imagery projected in the Mappilapattu are in accordance with the social fabric of the earlier Muslim community.
Buddhist version.
In the Buddhist variant of Ramayana, Dasaratha was the king of Benares and not Ayodhya. According to Ramayathapa, Rama and Lakshmana were the siblings born to the first wife of Dasaratha. To protect his children from his second wife, the king sent the three in exile to the Himalayas. 12 years later, the trio came back to the kingdom with Rama and Sita ruling as consorts. The abduction of Sita did not find a place in this version.
Sikh version.
In Guru Granth Sahib, there is description of two types of Ramayana. One is spiritual Ramayana, which is actual subject of Guru Granth Sahib, in which Ravana is ego, Sita is buddhi, intellect, Rama is inner soul and Lakshman is man, attention, mind. Guru Granth Sahib also believes in existence of Devas of Terra who were kings of their times which tried their best to bring revolution in the world. King Ramchandra was one of those, and it is not covered in Guru Granth Sahib. Guru Granth Sahib states, Huk me up o Dsoara, Huk me up Dsoara, By Hukam, supreme command, he created his 10 incarnations. This version of Ramayana was written by Guru Gobind Singh, which is part of Dasam Granth. In Dasam Granth, Guru Gobind Singh also explained that he does not believe Ramchandra as a god. He is equating Ramchandra with a common man by calling him insect, though he call himself insect too.
Jain version.
Jain version of Ramayana can be found in the various Jain agamas like Padma Purana, story of Padmaja and Rama, Padmaja being the name of Sita, Hemakandra's Trasastisallaka Purasa Charitra, hagiography of 63 illustrious persons, Sanadasa's Vasuteva Hindi and Uttara Purana by Ganabhadara. According to Jain cosmology, every half-time cycle has 9 sets of Balarama, Vasudeva and Prativasudeva. Rama, Lakshmana and Ravana are the 8th Baladeva, Vasudeva, and Prativasudeva respectively. Padmanabh Jaini notes that, unlike in the Hindu Puranas, the names Baladeva and Vasudeva are not restricted to Balarama and Krishna in Jain Puranas. Instead they serve as names of 2 distinct class of mighty brothers, who appear 9 times in each half-time cycle and jointly rule the half the earth as half-Chakravartins. Jaini traces the origin of this list of brothers to the Janatritra, Lives of the Jainas, by Acharya Bhadrabahu, 3-4th century BCE. In the Jain epic of Ramayana, it is Lakshmana who ultimately kills Ravana and not Rama as told in the Hindu version. In the end, Rama, who led an upright life, renounces his kingdom, becomes a Jain monk and attains moksha. On the other hand, Lakshmana and Ravana go to hell. However, it is predicted that ultimately they both will be reborn as upright persons and attain liberation in their future births. According to Jain texts, Ravana will be the future Tirthankara, omniscient teacher, of Jainism. The Jain versions have some variations from Valmiki's Ramayana. Dasharatha, the king of Satyavata, had 4 queens, Aparajita, Sumitra, Suprabha and Kayaki. These 4 queens had 4 sons. Aparajita's son was Padma, and he became known by the name of Rama. Sumitra's son was Narayana, he became to be known by another name, Lakshmana. Kayaki's son was Bharata and Suprabha's son was Shatrughna. Furthermore, not much was thought of Rama's fidelity to Sita. According to Jain version, Rama had 4 chief queens, Methili, Prabhavati, Ratinibha, and Sridharma. Furthermore, Sita takes renunciation as a Jain ascetic after Rama abandons her and is reborn in heaven. Rama, after Lakshmana's death, also renounces his kingdom and becomes a Jain monk. Ultimately, he attains Kevala Jnana omniscience and finally liberation. Rama predicts that Ravana and Lakshmana, who were in 4th hell, will attain liberation in their future births. Accordingly, Ravana is the future Tirthankara of next half-ascending time cycle and Sita will be his Ganadhara.
In Nepal.
Besides being the site of discovery of the oldest surviving manuscript of Ramayana, Nepal gave rise to 2 regional variants in mid-19th, early 20th century. One, written by Balu Bhakta Acharya, is considered the first epic of Nepali language, while the other, written by Siddhardas Mahadev in Nepal Bhasa, was a foundational influence in the renaissance of that language.
Southeast Asian versions.
Many other Asian cultures have adapted the Ramayana, resulting in other national epics. In Indonesia, Kakawin Ramayana is an old Javanese rendering. Yogesvara Ramayana is attributed to the scribe Yogesvara circa 9th century CE, who was employed in the court of the Midang in central Java. It is 2774 stanzas in Manipravla style, a mixture of Sanskrit and Kawi language. The most influential version of the Ramayana is the Ravanavadam of Bhatti, popularly known as Bhattakavaya. The Javanese Ramayana differs markedly from the original Hindu prototype. The 9th century Javanese Kakawin Ramayana has become the reference of Ramayana in the neighbouring island of Bali. The bas-reliefs of Ramayana and Krishnayana scenes is carved on balustrades wall of 9th century Prambanan temples in Yogyakarta. In Indonesia, Ramayana has been integrated into local culture, especially those of Javanese, Balinese and Sundanese, and has become the source of moral and spiritual guidance as well as aesthetic expression and also entertainment. Cultural performances such as wayang, shadow puppet and traditional dances often took their story from Ramayana. In Bali as well as in Java, the dances based on the episode of Ramayana often performed in temples such as Prambanan in Java and Pura in Bali. Fralak Fralam is a Lao language version, whose title comes from Lakshmana and Rama. The story of Lakshmana and Rama is told as the previous life of the Buddha. In Hikayat Seri Rama of Malaysia, Dasharatha is the great-grandson of the Prophet Adam. Ravana receives boons from Allah instead of Brahma. In many Malay language versions, Lakshmana is given greater importance than Rama, whose character is considered somewhat weak. The Cambodian version of Ramayana, the Rimka, is the most famous story of Khmer literature since the Funan era. It adapts the Hindu concepts to Buddhist themes and showed the balance of good and evil in the world. The Rimka has several differences from the original Ramayana, including scenes not included in the original and emphasis on Hanuman and Savanamaka, a retelling which influences the Thai and Lao versions. Rimka in Cambodia is not confined to the realm of literature but extends to all Cambodian art forms, such as sculpture, Khmer classical dance, theatre known as Lakorn Luang, the foundation of the Royal Ballet, poetry and the mural and bas-relief seen at the Silver Pagoda and Angkor Wat. Thailand's popular national epic Ramayana, Thai, Ramakirti, from Sanskrit Ramakirti, glory of Rama is derived from the Hindu epic. In Ramayana, Sita is the daughter of Ravana and Mandodari, Thotsakan in Mongtho. Vibhisana, Fifek, the astrologer brother of Ravana, predicts calamity from the horoscope of Sita. Ravana has her thrown into the water, but is later rescued by Janaka, Shanok. While the main story is identical to that of the Ramayana, many other aspects were transposed into a Thai context, such as the clothes, weapons, topography, and elements of nature, which are described as being Thai in style. It has an expanded role for Hanuman and he is portrayed as a lascivious character. Ramayana can be seen in an elaborate illustration at Wat Phra Ko in Bangkok. Other Southeast Asian adaptations include Ramakavaka of Bali, Indonesia, Maharaja Lawana and Deranjan of Mindanao, Philippines, and the Yamazata of Myanmar.
Theological significance.
Rama, the hero of the Ramayana, is one of most popular deities worshipped in the Hindu religion. Each year, many devout pilgrims trace their journey through India and Nepal, halting at each of the holy sites along the way. The poem is not seen as just a literary monument, but serves as an integral part of Hinduism, and is held in such reverence that the mere reading or hearing of it, or certain passages of it, is believed by Hindus to free them from sin and bless the reader or listener. According to Hindu tradition, Rama is an incarnation, avatar, of the god Vishnu. The main purpose of this incarnation is to demonstrate the righteous path, dharma, for all living creatures on earth. Sita states that the central theme of the Ramayana, as well as the Mahabharata, is respectively Ram's and Krishna's hidden divinity and its progressive revelation.
Media.
A number of movies and television serials have been produced based upon the Ramayana.
Movies.
Sampurna Ramayanam, a 1958 Telugu movie starring N.T. Rama Rao, Sampurna Ramayana, 1961 Hindi film directed by Baba Pai Mistry, Lava Kusha, a 1963 Uttara Kandam-based Telugu movie starring N.T. Rama Rao, Sampurna Ramayanam, a 1971 Telugu movie, Kanchana Sita, a 1977 Malayalam film by G. Aravindan, Ramayana, The Legend of Prince Rama, a Japanese animated film released in Hindi, Japanese and English languages, Ramayanam, a movie starring child artists, Sita Sings the Blues, an independent animated film, 2008, Lava Kizza, The Warrior Twins, animated film based on Uttara Kandam, 2010, Ramayana, The Epic, a Warner Brothers. Indian animated film, 2010, Sri Rama Rayam, movie based on Uttara, 2011, Mumbai musical, DreamWorks Animation, 2016.
Plays.
Kanchana Sita, Saketham and Lanka Lakshmi, award-winning trilogy by Malayalam playwright C.N. Srikantan Nair.
Serials. TV series.
Ramayana, 1987, originally broadcast on Doordarshan. Ramayana, 2008, originally broadcast on NDTV Imagine. Ramayana, 2012, a remake of the 1987 series.
See also:
Genealogy of Rama, Jataka Tales, versions of Ramayana, Adhyatma Ramayana, Ananda Ramayana, Abducted Ramayana.
Footnotes.
A.B. Datta, Amaresh, January 1, 2006. The Encyclopedia of Indian Literature, Volume 2, Dekraj Tajoti. ISBN 978-81-260-1194-0, Buchan van Newton 2000, Vinod P. Kship, Dut 2004, pages 198, Brockington 2003, Prabhavananda 1979, pages 81, Goldman 1990, pages 29, Arkanarayan, The Ramayana. Penguin Group, 2006, page XXIII. The Indian epic, the Ramayana, dates back to 1500 BC according to certain early scholars. Recent studies have brought it down to about the 4th century BC. History of Ancient India, earliest times to 1000 AD, Radhushyam Chaurasa pages 38. The kernel of the Ramayana was composed before 500 BC while the more recent portion were not probably added till the 2nd century BC and later. Goldman 1990, pages 45, Buchan van Newton 2000, p. XXI, Goldman 1990, pages 4-6, 83, ABCD Sundararajan 1989, pages 106, Goldman 1990, pages 4-6. Dutt 2004, pages 191, Raghunathan, N. Trans. Srimad Valmiki Ramayana, Araya, R.P., ed. Ramayana of Valmiki, Goldman, Robert P., The Ramayana of Valmiki, An Epic of Ancient India pages 23, M. Witzel, The Vedas and the Epics, Some Comparative Notes on Persons, Lineages, Geography, and Grammar. In, P. Koskikalio, ed. Epics, Kalas, and Puranas. Continuities and Ruptures. Proceedings of the Third Dubrovnik International Conference on the Sanskrit Epics and Puranas. September 2002 Zagreb, Croatian Academy of Sciences and the Arts 2005 21-80, Indian Wisdom or Examples of the Religious, Philosophical, and Ethical Doctrines of the Hindus, by Monia Williams. Published 2006, Valmiki Ramayana Shloks No. 8, 9, 10, Source, Bhatnagar, Pushkar, dating the era of Lord Ram, quoted on page 43, in book Rama Set a Symbol of National Unity, by Dr. Subramanian Swami. In the Vedas Sita means furrow relating to a goddess of agriculture. SSSN Murti, A Note on the Ramayana, Goldman, Robert P., The Ramayana of Valmiki, An Epic of Ancient India. p. 24, Goldman, Robert P., The Ramayana of Valmiki, An Epic of Ancient India. Pages 15-16, Goldman, Robert P., The Ramayana of Valmiki, An Epic of Ancient India pages 28, C. Sankalia, H.D., Ramayana, Myth or Reality, New Delhi, 1963, Basham, A.L., The Wonder That Was India, London, 1956, pages 303, ABCDEFG Keshavadas 1988, pages 23, ABCD Menon, Ramesh, 2003, The Ramayana A Modern Retelling of the Great Indian Epic North Point Press. ISBN 0-86547-695-0, Keshavadas 1988, pages 27, Keshavadas 1988, pages 29, Buchan van Newton 2000, pages 16, Goldman 1990, pages 7. These sons are infused with varying portions of the essence of the great Lord Vishnu who has agreed to be born as a man in order to destroy a violent and otherwise invincible demon, the mighty Rakshasa Ravana who has been oppressing the gods, for by the terms of a boon that he has received, the demon can be destroyed only by a mortal. A. B. Goldman 1990, pages 7, Batach Haji 1998, pages 73, Buck and Van Nu 10 2000, pages 60-61, Prabhavananda 1979, pages 82, A. B. Goldman 1990, pages 8, Brockington 2003, pages 117, Keshavadas 1988, pages 69-70, A. B. C. Prabhavananda 1979, pages 83, A. B. Goldman 1990, pages 9, Buck and Van Nu 10 2000, pages 166-168, Keshavadas 1988, pages 112-115, Keshavadas 1988, pages 121-123, Buck and Van Nu 10 2000, pages 183-184, A. B. C. D. Goldman 1990, pages 10, Buck and Van Nu 10 2000, pages 197, A. B. Goldman 1994, pages 4, Kishore 1995, pages 84-88, Goldman 1996, pages 3, Goldman 1996, pages 4, A. B. Goldman 1990, pages 11-12, A. B. Prabhavananda 1979, pages 84, Rajagopal, Arvind, 2001. Politics After Television. Cambridge University Press, pages 114-115. ISBN 978-0-521-64839-4, A. B. Goldman 1990, pages 13, 2002, Aswamedha. Pages 146, ABC A Different Song. The Hindu. August 12, 2005. Retrieved May 21, 2009. Fallon 2009, Sakya, Negan, 1997, Medieval Assamese Literature in Medieval Indian Literature, ed. Panika, K. A. Ayappa, pp. = 6-7, Ramayathappa. February 17, 2010. Ramayana versions reflect different period perspectives. The Hindu. Retrieved February 17, 2010, page 1037, line 5, Guru Nanak, Roy, Ashim Kumar. 1984. A History of the Jainas. New Delhi, Gitanjali Pub. House. Pages 20. OCLC 11604851, Jaini, Padmanabh, 2000. Collected Papers on Jaina Studies. Delhi, Motilal Banarsidas Pub. ISBN 81-208-1691-9. Pages 377, Jaini, Padmanabh, 1998. The Jaina Path of Purification. New Delhi, Motilal Banarsidas. ISBN 81-208-1578-5. Pages 305, Jaini, Padmanabh, 2000. Collected Papers on Jaina Studies. Delhi, Motilal Banarsidas Pub. ISBN 81-208-1691-9. Pages 359, Mansi Choksi and Amolika Paya. July 3, 2010. Now, meet Ravan the Saint. The Times of India. Retrieved July 6, 2010, Roy, Ashim Kumar. 1984. A History of the Jainas. New Delhi, Gitanjali Pub. House, pages 20-21. OCLC 11604851, Helen, Johnson, 2009. Muni Samvaganash Vijay Maharaj, ed. Trisasti Purusakari Tra of Hemachandra, The Jain Saga. In English. Trans. From Pragrit. Part 2. Baroda, Oriental Institute. ISBN 978-908157-0-3. Refer Story of Munisyavrata, Goldman 1990, pages 83, Roman 2009, pages 434, Effect of Ramayana on Various Cultures and Civilizations. p. Sata 1996, ppl vilvii.